5:21 on this Wednesday morning, which for many of us is starting out much clearer than was the case yesterday. And it's very comfortable as far as the numbers go. I mean, we're 55 degrees in Woodland Park. There's very little wind out there. Colorado Springs, we're in the upper 50s. That's the view from Freedom Financial Services looking out towards the east. And looking fairly clear in Pueblo. I mean, there are a few clouds floating around out there, obviously. But compared to yesterday, a lot more sun expected this morning. We have 59 degrees right now at the hospital, and again, there's very little wind. Skycast shows first half of the day. We should expect mostly sunny conditions. As we move into the afternoon, the clouds will build up and eventually grow into some showers and thunderstorms. But through 3 o'clock, you see that we don't have a lot of activity out there just yet. Still some hit-and-miss showers could be underway by this time, especially over near the mountains. Much warmer today, 80s and 90s across all of eastern Colorado with 70s and 80s up high. Storms should expand some as we head into the evening hours. Notice in particular, once we get past 6 o'clock, we'll start to see some bright colors across the plains. So there could be some heavier rain out there near the Kansas state line. May even be a shot for some severe weather within, say, 50 miles of the border. I do think that along and west of I-25, the atmosphere will begin to dry out some this afternoon. I mean, we'll still have our chance for some brief rainfall and certainly some gusty wind, but I don't think the rain will be terribly heavy along the Front Range today. And then overnight tonight, whatever's out there will end. We'll clear out. Probably end up in the 50s and 60s when you wake up tomorrow morning, and then we'll get even warmer tomorrow afternoon with highs in the low 90s. But like today, we're not looking at copious amounts of water in the atmosphere, so we think that the storms that develop tomorrow generally will be short-lived along the Front Range and probably capable of producing some decent bursts of rain briefly, but as well probably some pretty good wind gusts. Now, as we move into the weekend, temperatures will gradually start to come down as we moisten up the atmosphere, and I do think that if not by Saturday, then certainly by Sunday, there will be a lot of available water for us to work with. And so the storms as we move into the weekend could pose a much greater threat for some very heavy rainfall, which of course means we'll have to be concerned about the flooding on the burn scars. So that's something we'll track with interest here over the next several days. Look for overnight lows to generally be in the upper 50s to lower 60s around Colorado Springs. Pueblo, I couldn't rule out a quick shower, a couple of sprinkles the next 2 days, but as a whole, I don't think you'll have to worry too much about it. We'll just get very warm with mid to upper 90s. Once we start heading into the weekend, those chances for thunderstorms will increase for you, and particularly by Sunday, we think those chances for rain will be pretty good with storms that develop. Now, we're still only talking about a 20% coverage, so we're not making any promises. But just talking a bit more about the character of the storms here. Canyon City couldn't rule out some generally weaker thunderstorms here the next couple of afternoons. Could get some brief rainfall, some gusty wind. But again, the heavier rain would likely hold off until later on this weekend. Temperatures will be in the 90s for a few days, cool back into the 80s towards the end of this period. Mountain areas, 70s throughout, but will drop out of the upper 70s into the lower 70s. And daily chances for storms are pretty good bet here over the mountains. Again, the rain might not be real heavy the next couple of days, but certainly as we head towards the weekend, that's a possibility.
All right. Thank you, Marty.
You're welcome.